The White House and the CDC have decided it is time for all of us to mask up again, even if you're vaccinated. We're also going to be talking about a teacher in Fauquier County, Virginia that was put on administrative leave for pushing back against woke CRT training. And then finally, we're going to ask the question, is Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles a quitter? We discuss all of this and more on Making the Argument, where we make the arguments that help all of us defend a free society. So recently, I was up in New York City. And in order to get to New York City, I decided to take the train. And the train has certain rules, right? That nice government-subsidized Amtrak. And as I'm getting on the train, which was actually pretty easy to get on, I'm a little bit of a fan, even though I don't like the tax subsidization. You had to wear a mask the entire time you were on the train, except when you're eating and drinking, because as we all know, COVID knows if you're eating and drinking, it's not allowed to spread. But so I'm wearing the mask, get up to New York City, and here's my thoughts on New York City. First of all, I find it fascinating because here in Culpeper, Virginia, I live on 10 acres. 10 acres up in New York City, they put 10,000 people in 10 acres. And here in Culpeper, Virginia, I put 5 people, 20 chickens, 1 turkey, 2 dogs, 3 cats, and 4 goats. Right, so the difference was incredible, right? The noise, the sounds, the smells, everything in New York City. It's very interesting. I'm usually able to appreciate New York City for about a couple days at a time, and then I've usually got to rush back to some place where the hay bale to people ratio is a little bit more in tune with my personal preference. But having said that, one of the things I noticed about the majestic city of New York was how many people were wearing masks as they're walking around. Now, keep in mind, I'm a freedom guy. So if you want to wear a mask, if you think it's safer for you for health reasons, that should be your choice. I don't do what you want, right? I don't have a problem. You wearing a mask doesn't adversely affect me. You not wearing a mask because, again, I've already had COVID, doesn't really affect me. But now the CDC and Biden, and this is always the question, right? What comes first, the politics or the science? It's the classic chicken and egg question of our time right now, the politics or the science. But they've essentially put out that they're bringing back the mask mandates to Congress. They're bringing back the mask mandates to the White House. CDC is putting out guidance where they think all of our schools, all of our kids should mask up for this. And a lot of this is because of the Delta variant. And what I find interesting about this is when you listen to the talk or when you listen to the press discuss the Delta variant, all of a sudden they're very, very fascinated with percentages. They don't talk as much about actual real numbers. And the reason why I point this out is because I think it's important that there's certain ways to tell when the game is fixed, right? And we've talked about this before on economics when people talk about quintiles